Welcome. Let's dive right in. Today, we're unpacking the science behind something that seems so incredibly simple, yet is honestly profoundly powerful. We're looking at how a quick walk in nature acts as a literal, full on biological system reboot for both your body and your mind.
Let's face it, we all share that modern, bone deep exhaustion, don't we? Between the screens, endless emails, and the constant hustle, our brains are just fried. But have you ever wondered why simply stepping into a forest or walking by a lake almost instantly makes you feel human again? Why does a simple walk feel like a complete system reboot? Well, it's not magic, it's actually hard neurobiology.
Section 1, Beyond Just Being Outside, the System Reboot. We usually kind of think of nature as just a pretty backdrop, right? Like a nice location to visit on a lazy Sunday. But neurobiologically speaking, nature is a highly complex, active biological trigger. The second you cross the tree line, you aren't just getting fresh air, you're simultaneously flipping the switch on a bunch of biological systems. Walking outside engages your stress system, your attention system, your senses, your physical movement, and your emotional processing all at the exact same time. It's this beautifully synchronized combination of psychology and neurobiology all firing together. Section 2, Calming the Stress, the Sympathetic Shift. Nature actually forces a physical downshift in your body's stress response. It actively shuts off your internal alarm bells. Just look at this number right here, 10 to 20. In literally just 10 to 20 minutes of exposure to greenery or water, your sympathetic nervous system, that relentless on switch that keeps you in fight or flight mode all day at work, it starts to stand down. 10 minutes. That's honestly less time than it takes to endlessly scroll through your morning feed. So, why does it happen so fast? Well, busy urban environments are constantly bombarding us with abrupt, demanding stimuli. But natural environments, things like trees and water, they send incredibly fast signals of absolute safety directly to your brain. And because of that, your heart rate slows down, your muscle tension releases, and stress hormones like cortisol just absolutely plummet. Section 3, Restoring Attention, Mental Recovery. Because we aren't just stressed, are we? We're exhausted. Think about the massive cognitive drain you face every single day. Filtering traffic, dodging pop-up ads, processing 100 emails, it all actively drains your mental battery. Psychologists actually have a specific name for the cure to this modern mental fatigue: attention restoration theory. The core concept here is that our brain's directed attention gets heavily depleted by all those daily tasks I just mentioned. But, and here's the cool part, it is actively restored by the effortless attention that's required when we're simply out in nature.
There's a perfect contrast at play here. On one side, we have hard focus. That's the city. It's a severe cognitive drain where your brain is forced to actively filter out noise, ads, and chaos. But on the other side, we have soft fascination. This is nature. Nature gently holds your attention with predictable, soothing patterns. Think rustling leaves, drifting clouds, flowing water. It demands absolutely zero hard focus from you, which dramatically lowers your cognitive load. Section 4, Rhythmic Movement Neurochemistry.
Now, let's layer the actual physical act of walking on top of that scenery. Because it's not just about what you're looking at, it's about what your body is doing and the incredible neurochemistry that movement unlocks. The second you start strolling, your brain basically opens up a chemical pharmacy. It boosts serotonin, it increases dopamine, and releases a flood of endorphins. It also ramps up blood flow directly to your brain. But the real star of the show here is the stimulation of the hippocampus. This is the brain region that's absolutely vital for memory, and even more importantly, for processing stress and regulating your emotions. And here is the real aha moment for me. Walking isn't just movement, it's a left-right rhythm, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Researchers point out that this rhythmic bilateral pattern actively helps in emotional processing. It actually mirrors the mechanics behind some trauma therapies, like EMDR. That simple left-right rhythm calms your nervous system and helps you process the heavy emotional baggage you've been carrying around all week. Section 5, Shifting Perspective, Breaking the Loop. So all of that chemistry and rhythm translates into real, measurable relief from anxiety, low mood, and that suffocating feeling of just being stuck in your own head. The absolutely crucial mechanism here is the shift from internal to external. When you walk in a natural space, your attention naturally shifts outward to the bigger picture. And this breaks those endless loops of negative rumination. Instead of constantly self-monitoring and obsessing over your worries, your mind kind of expands into the space around you. It stops those exhausting negative thought loops dead in their tracks.
And hey, we definitely can't ignore the sky above you. Exposure to natural daylight alone acts as a massive biological cue. It directly resets your internal biological clock, regulates your sleep-wake rhythm, and boosts your overall energy levels. Especially in those darker, gloomy winter months, just getting daylight on your retinas makes a profound difference. I absolutely love this quote from our source material because it summarizes exactly what our modern, overwhelmed brains are starving for. It says, nature forces your pace down. Less screen, less task orientation, more sensory perception. Just think about that for a second. When was the last time you let your pace be dictated by the sway of the trees instead of the ping of a smartphone notification? Section 6. Accessible medicine, just walk. This brings us to the most accessible and honestly, the most comforting takeaway of all. On one hand, we have intense sports, which are great, for sure, but they require high exertion, lots of effort, and they can sometimes even add their own physical stress to your body. On the other hand, slow walking. The research reassures us that you literally do not need to be an extreme trail running athlete to get these benefits. A simple, slow walk provides immediate relief and measurable stress reduction without any physical strain whatsoever. It is entirely accessible to almost everyone. So I want to leave you with this final kind of provocative thought to ponder. If a slow walk in the woods is truly this scientifically powerful, like capable of rewiring our attention, dropping our cortisol, and completely resetting our nervous system, why do we spend so much of our lives actively fighting our natural pace? Honestly, maybe it's time to just close the laptop, step outside, and let your biology do what it does best. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.